From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. There has been a mass stabbing attack at a busy shopping centre in Sydney, Australia. Police say a man began stabbing people Saturday, killing 5 and injuring at least 4 others before he was shot dead by a police inspector. Assistant Police Commissioner Anthony Cook says for those who survived the stabbings, their injuries are wide-ranging.
There are more than several other people who have been conveyed to hospital. A number of those are in serious and or critical condition.
He believes the suspect acted alone. Ontario's police watchdog has been called in to investigate the stabbing of an on-duty Toronto police officer and the shooting of the suspect. The Special Investigations Unit said police were responding to a call yesterday about a person in crisis when the altercation happened outside a West End Tim Hortons. Police say one of the officers was stabbed in the leg while trying to apprehend a man, and an officer then fired their gun. Both the officer and the suspect were in stable condition in hospital. Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly says the regional security situation around Israel remains highly volatile right now and could escalate without notice. With that, Global Affairs Canada has advised against all travel to Israel and the West Bank. Joly says Canadians in the region should consider leaving on commercial flights. The young killer whale trapped in a lagoon off northwestern Vancouver Island is too smart for her captors. A capture attempt yesterday failed, but rescuers say they'll keep trying.
The team of rescuers and the Ahadasat First Nation say in a joint statement that the orca simply decided she wasn't ready to be moved. Paul Cottrell with the Fisheries Department says the failure was a disappointment, but they'll try again soon.
We do have to step it up in terms of our approach and how we're going to help this animal.
The calf has been in the lagoon for 3 weeks since her mother was stranded by a low tide and died. Terry Theodore, The Canadian Press.
As the Greater Toronto Area confronts an auto theft crisis, some residents are considering bold or arguably radical action. Auto theft victim Laura Paquette is focusing more attention on the role of car companies. Specifically, she's wondering if automakers can be sued for making cars that she argues are just too easy to steal.
This is how I look at it. If I invested money in a security door for my house, right, and if everybody with a blank key fob could come into my house, I would kind of feel defrauded, right? That's how I feel about my vehicle. Like, how did somebody just come up to my driveway when it's supposed to have like this immobilizer and, you know, you're not supposed to drive it without the original key, but clearly somebody did.
And Canada's Lotto Max jackpot is growing richer yet again. Lottery officials report there was no winning ticket matching the 7 numbers drawn last night for a $65 million grand prize. So the jackpot carries over to Tuesday's draw, when an estimated $70 million will be up for grabs. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Scottie Scheffler, Bryson DeChambeau, and Max Homa are tied for the lead at 6 under after a windy round 2 at the Masters. Only 8 players broke par at Augusta National. Just as many shot 80 or worse in those wins. A tough day for Canadian golfers especially. Corey Connors of Listowel, Ontario shot a 4 over 76 and sits tied for 24th spot. Adam Hadwin of Abbotsford, BC sits 10 strokes back of the leaders, and fellow Canadians Mike Weir and Nick Taylor missed the cut. A hat trick from Andrei Kuzmenko powered the Calgary Flames to a 6-3 win over the Ducks in Anaheim. Matthias Michelli scored 95 seconds into overtime to lift the Coyotes to a 3-2 win over the Edmonton Oilers. Oilers captain Connor McDavid missing a second straight game with a lower body injury. Before that game, Arizona Coyotes players were reportedly informed the NHL club is expected to relocate to Salt Lake City, Utah. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.